Good morning, everybody. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. See how many diehards we have in here today. I guess we get a little bit of a late open. Kind of interesting movement. It's funny, I'm looking at my simplicity chart, and I don't think I've ever seen a scale that is scaled by 2 points. I guess we're not going to expect a whole lot of movement today, but I really wouldn't know. I don't have any past experience. This is my first Thanksgiving trading day. Jim, was that for NQ that you're talking about? For the expected volume? Yeah, Lewis, that Lorex at 707, I was still counting sheep at that time. That's way too early for me. That's 4 a.m. my time here. question is, would you have taken it if it was live? Real time. It's kind of looking at it, seeing if we do actually get a trade or get in one on YM or RTY, we could potentially be in it for like 15 to 30 minutes. Is Vegas in here this morning? actually surprised we have quite a few people in the room today. I'm a little half than normal, but just curious as to how many are actually active. Oh, Scott, you got yours? Yeah, I actually got mine yesterday. I was expected to get it tomorrow. Today's Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow. And I actually got it yesterday. And I just started. I installed Ninja on it so far. And hi, James. And RTrader. And that's pretty much where I stopped. And then I came in here and see if I can hang out with you guys for a little bit. And yeah, Ranjan, I would highly recommend to do that. But I think today the market reopens at 6 something, I think, Eastern again. So it's only closed for like 6 hours, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then I think tomorrow, I don't know, I got an email because I have an account with NinjaTrader Brokerage, and I got an email from them with the hours. Here, you know what, let me see if I can pull it up, see if I can find it. And I think the market closes tomorrow either at 12 or 12:15 or something like that. And then it's closed all the way till Sunday. So they definitely, I think, close early tomorrow. Let's see if I can find that email that I got. Unless somebody else in here got it, get it before me. Oh yeah, Scott, you guys yours last night too? That's funny. Yeah, I got mine yesterday. Like I was saying, so I mean, it's all installed in its position where it needs to be on my setup, and I started installing the software that I need. Like I said, I installed Ninja and RTrader, and that's pretty much where I stopped. Yeah, Michael, I think they're running a pretty decent Black Friday sale on the ones that I think Scott and I got the same one. We got the one with the i9. I think it's got the 12 12009K processor in it, I think it is. Hey, good morning, Katie. Yeah, I actually have two of their laptops, and I got to tell you, I'm pretty impressed with them. The first one I got 6 months ago, and had I known they were coming out with this one, I would have waited. But it is what it is. Well, looks like RTY might be potentially setting up something. Don't have a cluster yet. No, Katie, it's really that slow. Even on NQ, on the NQ10, we're getting like a bar every 30 seconds or something like that. Yeah, so even if we do get a setup, I don't even know what the likelihood of us even getting filled. Yeah, Katie, I was saying it's slow. And what else did I say? Oh, yeah, on NQ, we're getting like each bar on the 10 is like 30 seconds. It's funny, if you look at the NQ10, the OP bar, it looks like it's on a tranquilizer. It's like hardly moving. Okay, so I found the email for the hours, the trading hours. Yes, I've been looking for it all this time. So today it closes 12 p.m. Central, and it resumes at 5 p.m. Central, and then it closes tomorrow at 12:15 Central. Central Time. So add another hour for Eastern. So that means 1 p.m. Eastern halt today, and it resumes at 6 Eastern, and then tomorrow it closes at 1:15 Eastern. Resuming back Sunday, afternoon, whatever it is, like 6 p.m. Eastern or something like that. Snorri, I would probably be venturing to guess, because most of the big boys are out. Not most, all of them actually. But I don't know. It's tough. This is my first year trading this time frame, so I don't have anything to speak of in past experience. But from what I understand, it's pretty much this slow. Yeah, Brian, CL is moving, but it's still pretty slow. See you, James. Have a good one. If you'll be here tomorrow, we'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you next week. Yeah, that's great, Katie. Your insight's always like really helpful, since you do seem to be one of the more active ES traders in the room. I don't know. See, maybe I'll put up an ES chart in the future, just for fun. I don't think I'll trade it, but at least to look at it. Brian, I think a lot of people do trade ES. If Lori was in here, she'd be able to answer why it was pretty much primarily chosen to trade YM and RTY. RTY just actually kind of came up in the last few months to be more prominent. It was usually, YM. And Q. But NQ has just gotten to the point where it's just untradeable. But yeah, there's still quite a few people trading ES. By the way, guys, if you guys ask me a question and I'm delayed in answering, my attention is not really focusing on the chat right now. I figured since we've got some time, lots of it actually, I'm going to continue working on setting up my laptop. So I'm here, just my attention is focused on something else right now. Lewis, what do you mean by fully automatic? There's nothing fully automatic. And with regards to the other markets, again, I only have I only have one set of eyes, and I do have a lot of monitor real estate to look at. So if I'm focusing on one, actually YM and RTY are really close to each other, so I watch those two, and then CL and NQ are off technically in the distance to those, so it's very difficult to watch all four of them literally simultaneously. So I focus on one thing, and then once I'm looking to see whether it sets up or not, then no, there's nothing fully automatic. No, and it's highly discouraged, and you actually cannot do that. from what I understand. I don't mean that can't be done. I'm saying Apex, I think, kind of doesn't allow it for anything fully automatic. But that's what the TA there is for, to kind of help you. I don't personally use it. I used to, but I found it to be more of a distraction to me. So yeah, the Apex chart trader is amazing. I do use that, and I use the order keys function of it. So I don't use, so my chart trader is actually hidden. But I do have it, running, and which allows me to use the order keys. And I have my order keys programmed in such a way that allows me to, get into the orders placed when I want them placed. Hey, Lewis, I never asked you, what part of the world are you from, by the way? Just out of curiosity. Portugal. Okay. So what time is it over there right now? Oh, so it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. Yeah, no, I got it. I'm okay with military time. It's fine. It's not a problem. Okay, hold on a second. Katie, let's go with your question first. Again, remember, guys, I only have like 4 lines on the chart, so on the chat. So I'm going to see if I can keep up. So, Katie, get the timing right. So yeah, no, you definitely have to get the timing right. And the reason I say get the timing right is I watch the bar, and literally if it looks like it's within a tick or two of closing is when I'll place the order if I'm basically in question. But if it's a pretty solid setup, then I'll put the order in as soon as I see it developing. And but yeah, sometimes it's definitely a timing issue. There's times where, I'm trying to put the order in at the very last second, and I could easily get, skipped. Does that answer your question, Katie? Yeah, Brian, that's very, very true. Yes, Ranjan, you do have to close your positions, and I think it's 12:15. Actually, I think it's 1:15 Eastern today, I think, or 1:30, whatever it was. But yeah, 12:45 is a good time. I mean, it's you're going to beat the clock for sure. But I'd be leery about taking any trades after 12:30 Eastern, just because you don't want to be in that position where you may have to liquidate it one way or the other. So. No. So what happens is the order keys. What it does is, let's say for example, all right, just pick any chart right now. Let's look at YM for example. Okay, so if the bar closes down right now, I can basically put the with the order key, I can put an order in so that it puts the price at the close of the bar. That's the way the order keys work. It works just like the Apex chart trader for placing the order at bar close. So on chart trader, when you hit like short, or actually, you know what, let me pull it up so I'm not speaking out of turn. So you have a buy close and sell close. Okay, so the order keys basically mimics that function. It's just that it's on demand, and I don't have to worry about clicking it with a mouse. So I can have my mouse anywhere on the chart or anywhere else for that matter, and I just use the order keys to get in. And it's still designed to go at bar close, whether it's buy or sell. So for me, for example, I have it set up with control number, the number pad 8 for the bar close to the buy, and the control number 5 key on the number pad for sell close to go short. And that's basically how I have it set up. And then I have some other 2 functions for placing wherever the mouse is pointing at. So let's say I have a price level and I'm trying to get in on a retrace and I don't want it to be at the bar close. I want it to be, and this works a lot, for the intrabar scalps that Lori talks about. So, and that's a different function key, and that's wherever the mouse is at. And then you can either decide to go the sell, whether it's a sell limit or a buy stop order, depending on the direction of price movement. I hope that was not confusing. If it was, ask me the question again and I'll try to rephrase a portion of it. No. So the Snorri, the order keys is strictly for limit orders, not market. But I don't know why you would want to go with a market order, because then you could get filled anywhere. And if price is moving way too fast and you get skipped technically by a limit order, you could get filled, especially if you're trading NQ, like 2 or 3 points away from where you wanted to get filled initially, and it would have already blown through your take profit. So with simplicity, you use the chart trader as well, and then you can just use the buy high or sell high portion of it. That's the part of the chart trader that was basically designed for simplicity. And what that does is, let's say you've got a setup that's forming and then you're going to go, let's say, long on the close of the next bar. So let's say the current bar closes and you're going to go in at the when it goes above it. So you basically would click buy high, and then you set your entry offset to whatever it is you want. I actually mine set to 4, so it has to go 4 ticks above before it gets triggered in, and that part of it is for simplicity. I use that, and that's a limit order again as well. Or you can just use the buy market or sell market, which I do that sometimes as well. Yes, you have to, it's a Vladimir, it is an indicator, and you have to add it to the chart. That's correct. It doesn't do anything on the chart, but it gives you the ability to control and select what keys you want for placing the orders. And Snorri, those are all limit orders. Everything chart trader is designed for limit, unless you actually hit the market order button. Yeah, well, that's why you have a combination of keys. I mean, your cat would have to be pretty intelligent to get the right combination of keys that you want. And if you spread it far enough on your keyboard, it would have to do like the splits to to get the right combination. Yeah, I like the order keys because I'm always faster with the keyboard than I am with trying to, click somewhere on a mouse and be, precise and specific about it. That's why I use hotkeys for, like, flattening positions and, canceling orders and things like that. It's just, yeah, the keyboard is definitely my friend, which is, yeah, let's just put it that way. Katie, that is so awesome. It's a great feeling, isn't it, when you get funded? Um, the only thing I can tell you is don't change anything in your trading once you get your funded account. Just just think of it as, I don't know, just don't even let it mentally even affect you. Just, I mean, it's exciting to get funded, but a lot of times people start to modify their trading habits, their systems, whatever it is, when they get funded, and then they blow it, and then they just can't figure out why. So the only recommendation I can make to you is just don't change anything in what you do. Ranjan, just go through Thrive like one by one. I would suggest basically watching the entire Thrive course from beginning to end one time, and just for observation purposes. Get what you can. Don't try to focus on anything. Just see what you can absorb, and then watch it again, and then start making notes on the things that you may want to go back to. And then the third time you go through it, I know it sounds crazy, but the third time you go through it, you start, honing in on things that you really want to work on. Yeah, Ranjan, right now the 80% off is the Black Friday deal. So any valuation that you get comes with an 80% monthly renewal as well. So it's basically like 80% off for life of the evaluation. Yeah, they definitely outdid themselves this time for sure. I mean, talk about a industry crusher. Ranjan, first of all, congratulations on signing up for the first account. Don't be nervous. I don't know how your trading's been going, but if you're following the rules and following the system, just don't let the target distract you from what you need to do. Just take it one step at a time and day by day. And if it takes you 3 months to get to that, tell yourself that's okay. I actually, I don't know if you were here when I talked about getting a 25,000 account, which is I think it's the first option. I think the 25 is the smallest account that you can get, and I did that to show that you could get funded with trading micros, and it took me just a little over 2 months to get it funded, and but I already knew that regardless of how long it was going to take, I'm just going to stay with my system and do what I need to do and follow all the rules. And I posted the progress in the ER actually as it was happening. I don't know if you were in here or if you have joined after. I'm not quite sure how long you've been here. So if it takes, I've had accounts that take 4 to 6 months to pass without a reset. So just keep that in mind, and don't let all the other things distract you from doing what you need to do. And that is basically trade well. It's like focus on the process. The results will show up themselves all on their own. The process is the most important thing. Ranjan, that's okay. Here's the thing. It all depends on what you can afford. Number one. Number two, I don't know how your trading is. So just to get the account, just to trade it and then blow it doesn't make any sense, because then you're going to be throwing money away. If you're consistent in your trading and you think you've got the system down and you've proven it to yourself that okay, so let me stop there. Let me back up for a second. One of the things I always say is you always have to earn the right to trade live money. Okay, and what I mean by that is you have to earn you have to prove to yourself that you deserve to trade live money. And when you get these funding accounts, the way I do it anyway, I treat it, even the evals, as like it's real money, like it's live money. So for me to be able to have that, I have to earn the right to be able to trade that account. So if my system has, been proven to work, and to myself, right? Because we know it works. There's literally a ton of people in here who are extremely successful. And so we know the system works. And if I can stick with the rules and be consistent, then trade as many accounts as you can. So again, Ranjan, I'm asking the question: how has your trading been? I mean, have you been trading sim? Have you been trying to track your progress, your success? And I think Thor, or actually Ben, he's known here as Ben, has asked you a question. If you're in a mentor group, that's kind of an important one. And I don't remember seeing if you've posted any charts or anything like that to kind of show. Forgive me if I'm basically not stating this correctly, but just to make sure that you're understanding the system and you're trading it the way it's meant to be traded. So you're trading in sim right now. Okay, great. And how are you doing with that? And not that great. Okay, good. At least you're being honest. I was going to say, I mean, it's be honest, because everybody can always say, oh yeah, I'm doing great, fantastic, because they're afraid to show like they're either not doing great or that they're failing, but it's okay. So it's good that you're being honest and transparent. And I got to be honest, that's what I did. Because when I was failing, I was the first one to raise my hand saying, okay, guys, I'm having a little bit of a problem here. I need some help. So here's the thing. It's a good time to get the accounts, but if you're not going to use them, then you're going to be throwing money away. What I mean by that is you don't want to go trading these things and then blowing them, and then because a reset's going to cost you 3 times more than what you actually paid for the account itself. Okay, so let's say you're going to buy 5 accounts and then you blow them all. It's going to cost you almost $500 to reset them when it cost you $150 to get into them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you're going to get these things knowing that you can be successful at it, knowing that you know the system. So if you're not doing that great in sim and you're not understanding of the system, you need to work on that first. Don't worry about the fact that there's a great deal on it now. The fact that this is my opinion and my thoughts, but the fact that Apex did this once means that they will probably do this again. And at least the 80% part of it. They may not do the 80% renewal, but at least the 80%, because they've done that in the past numerous times. So don't be afraid of missing out on getting something, but there's no point on getting it if you're going to blow it. And again, this is just my opinion. I mean, trust me, guys, when it comes to Apex, I'm like 100% committed. I'm all in. If you guys have any idea how much money I've got invested in that entire system, you'd be shocked. But I believe in the system. So I'm not trying to discourage or promote anything. I'm just kind of giving you my opinion and what's worked for me. So know the system first. Make sure that you're proven to yourself that you can be consistent at trading. Then go get your funding account. Because at the end of the day, don't forget, you're trying to prove to Apex that you can be a successful trader so that they can invest money in you, because that's ultimately what they're doing. They're investing in you. So if you're going to get an account and then blow it at the top end of what they're looking at, they're going, okay, well, they're blowing their evals, so they're not really somebody that we can or we want to invest in. Think about it the other way around. You're the one with the money, and a trader is coming to you and saying, okay, I want you to, put $50,000 behind me, and I'm going to trade money, and I'm going to make money for you. Well, prove it to me. So that's kind of like, that's what we're doing. When we get these evals, we're basically trying to prove to Apex that we can be successful traders. Vladimir, basically it's taking stuff that I brought in to Apex and not implementing it, getting into a place where I would get into revenge trading. There's a lot of psychology that I actually had to go through with myself, where I basically woke up one morning and I said, I'm not doing this anymore. And basically, picture this analogy. I took all my knowledge and put it into a glass of water. that was filled up all the way. And then I took that water and I dumped it all out so my glass was completely empty. And I said, this is how I'm going to treat myself right now, is I know absolutely nothing and I'm starting from scratch. Not bringing in anything that I've learned in the past, because all of it is completely irrelevant. Excuse me. So that's how I fixed it. I basically just literally like changed everything overnight because I was tired of doing what I was doing. So I went back to the basics. I got into a mentor group. I asked a bajillion questions. I posted my charts, even though I was making mistakes right and left. Every time I was corrected, I immediately implemented that correction and made sure that I wasn't making that mistake again. And I was very conscious about it. And that was kind of like the start of where it brought me to today. I'm trying to like look through the chat here because a lot of stuff kind of flew by. So forgive me, I have to scroll back. Ranjan, sorry, did I help you with that at all? Ask me again because I got kind of sidetracked on what I was saying. So. That's funny, Vladimir. Yeah, that's, I mean, all joking set aside, but yeah, I mean, it's like I think the first thing is to recognize what you're doing wrong and then admitting it to yourself and not being afraid to admit that you're doing it wrong, and then the answers are there, and then fix it. There's plenty of people in here, and I think we all at one point or another have been there. Nobody was born into this thing overnight. And this stuff is not easy, because if it was, everybody would be doing it. Michael DM is Daryl Martin. He's basically one of the owners of Apex, and he comes in here quite often, and he is the one that runs all the training, most of the training videos as well. Dozy, I would recommend with one. Just start with one. And again, it's the system is what's important, not as much of the instrument. You have to get the concept of what the system is, and then you can apply it to any market. Order prints is something extremely unique, and it's not individualized to any one market. So, you know, we focus on primarily YM, RTY, and NQ in here. So YM and RTY will probably pick either one or both if you want. Look at those. Play with those for a while. And when I say a while, like at least 6 months, especially if you're new. And yeah, just here's the thing. I think if you try to do this thing overnight, you're gonna fail. And I'm not trying to be negative or discouraging in any way. I'm just telling you, being realistic. This is the Apex system. It's a beast. There's a lot there, and it's extremely overwhelming. And there's so many little parts to it. I don't even know. I'd say maybe half of it, 3/4 of it, if I'm being extremely generous. I learn stuff every single day. I learned something, I think, last week on order prints that, I never even would have imagined was there until it was pointed out to me. And now I'm actually starting to pick things out myself and notice things that I would have never noticed before. So, I mean, again, this thing is a beast, and it's going to take time. And the longer you take to absorb it, the longer you take to build your foundation, the stronger your foundation is, the better the rest of your trading career would and success would last, because you have something to fall back on, something to fall back on. Again, I always go back to the analogy of construction, because that's kind of like where I'm at. I mean, that's what I do for a living. I'm a contractor. And if you're going to build a skyscraper, you need to have a really, really solid foundation. Let's say it's 100 stories tall. You're not going to build a foundation of a single-story house and try to put 100 stories on it, because it's going to basically crumble and crash. So the foundation and focusing on the foundation is extremely important. Bruce, yes, I have. I've actually taken everything. I've taken even Sharpshooter, which hasn't been mentioned much, but Thrive and Mind Mastery are probably one of the most important things to do after you finish boot camp. Murray, to be honest, I did not. I added them in bulk, but that's just me. That's just because it fit my personality. So, Bruce, here's the thing. Everything is built on the basics of Sniper. Even Lorex, the Lorex trade, that's, basically Sniper on steroids. So before you do anything, and before you get into Thrive or Mind Mastery, I think you can probably take simultaneously as Boot Camp, because that talks about more about psychology. So, but yeah, definitely get Boot Camp down, get the Sniper system down, and then you can start, as you get maybe 2/3 through boot camp and fully understanding boot camp, then start, incorporating Thrive, but try not to get distracted. And, because again, Thrive talks about more advanced stuff, and you really want to focus on the basics, because it's going to be very easy to get distracted. And if you miss one little piece, that could be the piece that everything could crumble on, because you missed it in boot camp. So, I know it sounds tedious, and it's like, oh God, do I really have to do this? And it's like, yeah, you do. If you want to be successful, and you want to make this thing work, you really have to be like committed and willing to put in the time, and that's what it's going to take. Murray, I have multiple size accounts. I sound complex. Okay. Joey, what do you mean? How did I react to it? I mean, basically it's kind of like having an aha moment. It's realizing that I was doing something wrong and it was something that was a mistake. I basically vowed not to ever do that again. So I was pretty excited, right? I mean, it's like, I'm glad I realized that this was a mistake and this is the way to do it correctly. So, and then you just continue building on it. Murray, it's not just for simplicity. You can trade simplicity with a smaller account too. I do that now. I just trade it with micros. Yeah, pretty much. Look, there's nothing beats the feeling of winning, right, so to speak. But with trading, one of the things that, and I've talked about this in the room quite a bit actually, you always try to keep your emotions in check and balanced. And what I mean by that is not get overly excited when you win a trade and not get overly discouraged when you lose one. It's kind of like, oh, okay, cool. This trade won, great, let's move on to the next one. Or, oh, okay, so this trade lost, all right, let's move on to the next one. And that basically goes hand in hand with the system, because you know the system ultimately in the long run is profitable, and there are going to be losing trades. And as long as you know that up front and you know what the expectations are up front when it happens, you're not going to be surprised. Yeah, Bruce, when you trade poorly, or when you know that you made a mistake, again, it all depends on your personality and how you are, but that's one thing that you need to focus on and go, okay, what am I doing wrong here? And then just stop, fix that, and then continue. Because if you don't stop and fix that, then you'll end up building on top of that, and you'll spiral into making more and more mistakes. Yeah, being bored, it's not an excuse. Sorry to say, Brian. There's been plenty of times where I sat in here, and everybody knows this. I was in here for like 3 or 4 days and hadn't taken a single trade, and I was okay with it. And then I think the first day after, like not trading 4 or 5 days, was just a monster day. And it's just waiting for the right the right setup that meets all the rules. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, Joey, and that's what I was saying before. You really need to try, and basically get rid of all your bad habits. Okay, here's something. Here's an exercise that I'll give you, Joey, and Joey. Sorry. I'm going to give you an exercise, and do this because it works. Okay. Take yourself a piece of paper. like a 8.5 by 10 piece of paper, crumble it up, and then make a little ball out of it. You want me to wait? Okay. Game, I don't understand. Okay. All right. So this is something that you're going to have to do over time. Okay. And this works. Believe it or not, it works. This is all psychological stuff. Okay. It's all psychology. So you take this piece of paper, you crumble it up into a ball, and you put it in your hand. You stretch your hand out in front of you. You close your eyes, and you envision all the bad things or all the things that you're trying to get rid of, and focus on all that energy and watch it traveling through your arm to that piece of paper, okay? And you keep envisioning that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, I'm going to drop this piece of paper out of my hand. I'm going to let all these bad habits go. And then just do that, and then drop that piece of paper onto the floor and repeat that exercise over and over and over again. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but trust me, it works. And eventually you'll get rid of whatever that bad habit is, and then you'll be able to receive all the new ones. You can do that too if you want. You can write it down on a piece of paper. You can do whatever you want. And that's another thing too, is if you can take that down and write on a piece of paper and then tear it up and shred it and throw it away, it's going through that process of visualizing and getting a way to separate those things from you, and that's the way to do that. So if you do that constantly over and over and over again, that will enable you to receive other things. How do you track your progress? With a journal. Or how can you with a journal? Or just, I mean, if you want a piece of paper, just like chicken scratch, right? You know, it's like, okay, today I took a Lorex trade. It had this setup, and it won or it lost. I mean, you can start by something as basic as that. And then you can add things to it. It's like, you know, what was your, you know, state of mind at the time? How confident were you in the trade? I mean, there's a million things you can do. Yeah, Bruce, absolutely. If you follow boot camp to a T and then incorporate Thrive into it and just trade sniper with like lane 4 trades in sniper, then you can absolutely make money. But one of the things you'll find out is that once you trade lane 4 sniper, you're basically trading the Lorex. Yeah, you just, Joey, I mean, it's like if you're at that point where enough is enough, then you really have to sit down and go through. Are you in a mentor group, by the way, Joey? Okay. Are you active in there? Okay. So you're posting your trades and all that kind of stuff every day? Okay, let's work on that first. Don't be shy. I'm in that group, and Thor's in that group as well. I think Shalon's in there as well. Start look, all of us started from zero, okay? Whether we had some baggage that we carried from another trading system, another mentor, coach, whatever it is. We've all been there, okay? So don't be shy. Ask the questions. First of all, there are no stupid questions ever. So you'll see. Just start. I'm telling you, just start doing it. I'll actually reach out to Thor, and if he sees anything that comes from you in the group, to try to make sure help analyze your charts and try to guide you in the right direction. And if I see stuff as well in there, then I'll do the same. But don't be afraid or shy to ask anything. And maybe that's the first thing you need to work on for yourself. And then once you get past that, then you'll see, you'll start building on from there. Yeah, Bruce, Thrive is highly, highly recommended. And even if you get it now, because I think there's a Black Friday deal on it, I think. Even if you get it now and you don't even look at it, you don't watch any of the videos until after you're done with boot camp, at least you have it. It's kind of funny. I'm sitting here reminding myself I actually should kind of skim through it myself one more time just for fun. And there's Thor right there, by the way, Joey. Well, Joey, first of all, you don't have to tell them that that's what you're doing right now. You can tell them maybe you're studying it, you're learning it. And if they say, how's trading going? It's like, good. I'm actually like, it's learning and it's looking very promising. And that's another thing too, is for yourself, is you always have to try to keep yourself in a positive mindset no matter what happens. Okay, so what was it that made it a perfect day is the first question I'm going to ask. And then the next question is, what was it that the next day made it a bad day? Because if you were consistent in your trading both days and you traded the system to a T, then it's the market. But if you made any kind of changes in between those days, then it's you. Does that make sense? Well, even with the TX and the DTX, especially with the TX on its own is not a very good, strong trade on its own, just by itself. It's got winners and it's got losers. Once you start incorporating some filters and seeing of where you actually take the trade, that's when it starts to become more powerful and more successful. And you'll start avoiding the losing trades. A lot of the things you'll learn is what trades not to take. Just because the signal is there doesn't mean you take it. Does that make sense? Okay, so here's the thing, Joey. When you when you listen to the trades that were being called in the room, you're getting the calls of the best of the best. So you won't get just a basic TX call in here, because statistically, you would have to grind the market over many trades in a long period of time to show a positive equity curve. Okay, so we always try to focus on, when you try to keep it simple, you want to trade the best possible trade that's out there. So let's say in a day we have 10 signals, just hypothetically speaking. Maybe only one or maybe two of those would be actually trades that you would actually want to take. Now, I'm not talking about going back in hindsight and looking and going, oh, that trade won or that trade lost. It's like, as that trade is happening, you look at it and go, is this a trade I want to take? Right? So also, it's a way of, like I said before, we learn what trades to stay away from. Okay, Joey, so let me put things into perspective for you, okay? I'm 55 years old and I just started doing this, and I know that I can do this. And if I was doing this when I was 27, God only knows where I would be today, right? So yeah, except they would send it by carrier pigeons. We would get our quotes basically 3 to 4 weeks behind. So, yeah. I think it's right at the time of horse and buggy. Yeah, Ranjan, that's not a problem. You can, are you in a mentor group? I don't know if it was asked before. I think Thor asked you the question, or Ben Thor, synonymous with one another. Call him Thor. Asked if you're not yet. Okay. Send Lori a Skype message. Actually, I forgot what the process was. Katie, maybe you can refresh my memory, or Thor, if you're in the room. The process of getting into the mentor group. I think you start by sending out a Skype message to Lori, and oh God, Katie. Okay, sure. Hold on one second, guys. I got to take this call. 1 second. Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. Had to take this phone call. Okay, let's go back in the chat and see what I missed. Joey, you're quite welcome. I hope you got some benefit from today. And maybe this is today. Maybe the day everything turns around for you. I hope it does. And okay, sorry, back again. Believe it or not, I've actually got my construction crew working today, half a day, so trying to deal with the phone. So, okay, let me try to catch up on the. And I was saying something for Joey, and I forgot what it was. So in the meantime, France, you're welcome. I'm not sure for what, but you're welcome. Yeah, right, Katie? We'll call today Thanksgiving with Ron. That's pretty funny. Bruce, do I feel that being on mic as an ER has changed my trading? Yes. It's changed it for the better. Has it made it harder? It's made it challenging. I've missed a lot of trades, but that's okay because I've missed trades before, so it's no big deal. One of the things that I know is that the setups they'll continue coming no matter what happens. One of the things that has helped me in here is it really helps me. Well, I've said this before. When the room is full and we've got over 200 people in here, you guys are all my accountability partners. So I need to make sure that I do everything as much to 100% right as possible because there's 200 sets of eyes or ears listening and seeing what I do. And I try to be as transparent as I can. And by that, I'm also being transparent to myself. And I see what I'm doing. So, and that's the most important thing. Yeah, I'm building a skyscraper, Vladimir, exactly. Yeah, that's, Katie, that's interesting you just say that about what you mentioned to Bruce. If you want to basically perfect a craft, teach it to somebody else. Think about that for a second. Yeah, France, there's definitely a lot to learn. And sorry, guys, I got to take this call one more time. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. Hey Greg, good morning. Thanks for joining us. What state am I in? Like a mental state or physical state? I'm just kidding. I'm in California. Vladimir. It would, well, France, send Lori a Skype message that you want to be in the mentor group and take it from there. You don't have to know the system cold to be in a mentor group, but it helps to have some knowledge of it. I'm in LA, Dozy. Yeah, I'm actually in front of my computer at 5 a.m., Vladimir. Oh, nice. Another contractor. Oh, you're in Bellflower. Oh, that's not too far. Nice. You're in Oregon, Dash? Yeah, there's another trader in here from Oregon as well. Well, Brian, it's, I'm used to getting up early anyway. In construction, you start early. So it's just another hour and a half earlier than that. It's not that big of a deal. Well, just for fun, and since we're all here watching paint dry, I did just take this RTY long, and I got in it. It actually filled me at 1874.7. Yeah, Vladimir, it really is. They say psychology is like 90% of trading, right? So, Brian, because I think that the price is being dragged up to the stack that's up at the 1875.7, which is where the profit is level. So, all right, Joey, have yourself a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Vladimir, if you have a setup, that's one thing, but just to take a trade, don't know if that's the right motivation to take one, just to have a trading day count. Yeah, Vlad, I know it's what you meant. I know. I'm just teasing. Oh, is that right? ES only had 5 bars today? That's moving. See you, Katie. Have a happy Thanksgiving. You gonna be in here tomorrow, Katie? Katie, you're quite welcome, and actually thank you, and happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate that. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Michael, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Thank you. Appreciate that. And we'll see you on Monday, Michael. Vladimir, what do you mean by doubling your size after your losses? Explain that to me. I don't get it. You mean you're doubling your contracts on the next trade? Can I ask you why you're doing that? Bruce, happy Thanksgiving to you too, by the way. We'll see you next time. Yeah, I think that's the first thing you need to work on. If you don't mind me criticizing you. Everybody's got their own system, right? But Jacob, today trading was pretty much non-existent except for the RTY I just got in, like, I don't know, like 5 minutes ago, whatever it was. Yeah, Greg, that's true. And you also need to have the mindset for it as well, to stick it in the drawdown, you know? Because if you go, let's say, for like 9 losses in a row, are you going to stomach what it takes to get into the 10th trade? And at that time, you could be trading, 100 contracts or whatever, which you may never get filled on all of them anyway. Well, Vladimir, the first step is to realize what your issue is. Then you can start working on it. And as long as you found it, then you're good. Jacob, I'm actually already in the RTY long. Well, Vladimir, then just one at a time. Let's tackle them one at a time. Uh, Basically, Jacob, yeah, it's beyond drying. It's like it's so dry, it's starting to like crack and peel off. Jacob, it did have an absorption X. The only thing it didn't have was a cluster. Ranjan, to answer your question, no, I do not. And there you go, guys. Took profit. Out. Well, so that was one trade for today, and it's right after lunch, and it's been extremely fun and exciting and zipping today, so I'm going to call it for the day. Well, guys, it was actually really a lot of fun hanging out with you guys today. Thanks for making it fun, and I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and be safe, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow.